What's up, YouTube? And in a few seconds, what's going on Facebook? I appreciate everybody for being here. So, I heard the news. I actually had a great day. I wasn't on the computer that much, but I heard the news. Something along the lines of Biden is trying to federally mandate the vaccine and testing, et cetera. Something along the lines of 100 million people he wants to get it, or, he'll try to mandate it. So, I'm going to actually listen to the clips with you guys. I haven't even fully heard the clip. So, I'm legitimately going to react to. It's not like a gotcha reaction video or anything, but I just was like, all right, I guess I'll go live and talk about it. But we got it before we get to the serious topic. This was me today. I'm trying to be like Joe Biden. I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm just trying to slobber down some chocolate chip or some vanilla, enjoy myself, get some fresh sun rays, and I can't even take a break. And this guy's got to be slobbering all over the Constitution. Stick to ice cream, Joe. You're good at that. You're good at the ice cream thing. You're good. You look cool in aviators. You look like somebody who could do something. You don't sound like somebody who could do something, but if you just close your mouth and just slobber down some ice cream, you look like a guy who could be a good president. And then you open your mouth and it sounds like a nursing home, but it's okay. We're going to talk about it and stay strong. I'm optimistic. I'm not really worried or anything, but this was always going to happen. 15 days to slow the spread turned into extension past Easter, turned into we're just going to do this to 2 months, turned into, just wear a mask for a few months until the vaccine comes, then turned into, well, if you get a vaccine, you can take your mask off. And, if you don't get a vaccine, you should leave your mask on to actually, even if you got the vaccine, you should probably still keep your mask on because it's not really going down to, we're going to do cruises and there's going to be like 95% vaccinated to, now we got to do testing for the vaccinated people too, because we realize that they actually do catch and spread the virus as well, even though the CDC director initially said they probably wouldn't. It's not really, the efficacy is not really what they said it would. So we're going to need a booster shot. So I'm no wizard, but if people don't realize now, it's like this like goalpost moving sort of thing, like Charlie Brown with the football. They're just going to keep doing this stuff if people just keep following. How much more clear could it get? I'm not even flustered because it's like it's so obvious at this point. It's not like March 2020 where I'm like, oh my gosh. This is so. They've done this like 1,000 times. It's like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 10,000 times, then I don't know. Ridiculous. And I want to say this before I start too. I take sickness very seriously. I want the world to be healthy. I want the world to be happy. I want the world to, you ever seen like one of those cartoons where everybody like stands around the world and they all hold hands, every ethnicity, and everybody's singing songs? I want the world to be like that. Trust me. I want everyone to be happy and healthy and be at peace. But the biggest part of health, in my opinion, is the root level, which is taking care of yourself, right? Taking care of yourself mentally, taking care of yourself physically, very important, and even taking care of yourself spiritually or psychologically. People will define it, different religions, etc., but taking care of yourself. And our country does not take care of ourselves physically. We don't take care of ourselves mentally. And these people are just trying to tell you, you can be 100, 200 pounds overweight. Just get in line for the pharmacy product and the pharmacy product and the pill and the pill and the pharmacy product. And I'm not telling people to or to not take anything because I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying the root level, if we were all fit, if we all exercised, if we were all in tip-top shape, you would see less hospitalizations. You would see less diabetes. You would see, less severe situations with COVID. I think Joe Rogan talked about, how he believes his fitness and vitamin routine helped him recover. And I'm not saying that it's the cure-all. Like they're now banning beaches. I don't even want to get into the Biden stuff. I'm going to get into it in a second. They're banning beaches last year. They're banning parks. They banned gyms. Gyms are where you work out. They're trying to demonize vitamins. We're not saying vitamins can cure cancer. We're just saying it's like a base level sort of thing. If you just eat fast food every day, you're probably going to be obese. And then because you're that big, there's going to be more health consequences to that. Where if you take care of yourself, work out, take good vitamins naturally, etc. We're not saying it's like a cure-all, like you have to fact check everything we say. We're just saying it's a good root level to really be prepared for anything in life. But they don't want people to know that. There's so many people, record level last year, dying of overdoses of opioids. There's fentanyl killing so many kids. Our life expectancy is going backwards. We're not even getting older and older and older on the net sum of everybody's age. We're going backwards. And a large reason is because of mental health, suicide, depression at a young age, and also opioids, specifically fentanyl as a drug that has been killing so many people way earlier than they're supposed to die. And these people, many of these companies and many of these agencies and many of these industries, I'm not going to name names, but they're semi-responsible for the fact that our life expectancy is going backwards. So it's not like they don't know. They're complicit. They're complicit in a lot of the rollouts. There are billion-dollar lawsuits that have been settled saying they knew what they were doing. They don't give a crap. So it's just ridiculous. We could talk about medication, and I have no problem. I never tell people what to or to not do. But Ice Cream Joe wants to act like the only thing that matters is getting in line for the booster shot every year. And I'm just curious where this ends. As somebody who's a spectator, how many booster shots until Ice Cream Joe is satisfied? Is it 2 a year, 3 a year? Do we need another medication? What are we, just guinea pigs now? We just, whenever you say we can't go to work, we can't go to gym, we can't. It's such a dangerous precedent. So before I play the clip, I just want to say we're going to need all our brothers and sisters together, because I don't care if you got this jab. I don't care if you didn't. I don't care if you've got once before. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I know they're going to try to spin me as that. I've gotten vaccines before under my own decision. I get to live with the consequences of that. It's my fault or my success if I do it, or my parents when I was younger. So you get what I'm saying? It's not like I'm anti this or that. And we're going to need everyone together, because it's more about, even if you got it, they can now decide that you're barred from society if you don't have this pharmacy product. And if they can do it for this product, they can do it for the booster shot. And if they can do it for the booster shot, they could do it for the next booster shot. And if they could do it for the next booster shot, they could do it for the rest of your life. And if they can do it for those booster shots, they can also do it for another drug or another medication or a food or a pill. This is never going to end. This is the end of American freedom, which is why people like even Justin Amash, I'm going to read what he said. He wasn't a fan of Trump. He considers himself, I think, like a trendy libertarian or whatever. But he said, our Constitution does not say the president can force Americans to do whatever he wants, and Congress, the states, or the people do not, if the people do not otherwise want to do whatever he wants. All right, let's play the clip, because I got to hear what he's actually saying. We're talking about Ice Cream Joe, folks. If you're just following this guy, he loves vaccine mandates. He loves slobbering over a nice ice cream, and he loves mispronouncing things on live TV just to have, a bunch of the fact checkers come to his defense. Fact check, Joe Biden didn't say that. I mean, he said 1 billion, but he didn't mean to. I mean, he tried his best. He's just slurping down ice cream like the rest of us. You don't have an uncle that you like that wears aviators? Fact check, Joe's really trying. Fact check, he didn't say that. Fact check, Jen Psaki. Oh no, they're doing their best. It's like, you're so bipartisan. You're so fair. It's so nice how you guys just, you just come in and tell us the facts all the time. Thank you so much for being so even keeled. Anyway, all right, let's get to the meat of the thing. Let's listen to Ice Cream Joe. You got to respect the guy who just takes a bite like that. He looks like an alpaca just eating a carrot or something.
I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require.
Hold on, emergency rule. You know how to emergency. Now I'm a dictator. Emergency. Now we're going to print billions of dollars. Isn't that just convenient? It's an emergency, folks. Now we just got to print trillions of dollars and assume power that Castro would have been envious of. Man, they love a good emergency. Anyway,
I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated or show a negative test at least once a week. Some of the biggest companies are already requiring this. United Airlines, Disney, Tyson's Food, and even Fox News. The bottom line, we're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers.
We're going to protect the vaccinated from the unvaccinated. Isn't that nice? Just nice little division there. I want to say this real quick, because everybody's talking about, we talk about Israel because a huge majority of their population, adult population, they're double vaccinated. Now there's over 2 million triple vaccinated. The reason I talk about Israel is because they're a real case study of what happens when almost the whole country gets double jabbed. And now 1/4 of the country is essentially triple jabbed, and the numbers are higher than ever. So as far as the new cases, they're not doing like astronomically amazing, but I know Joe Biden doesn't want to look at their numbers. If you want to know a country, and this is one part that nobody's talking about with the testing. If you want to know one country that seems to have stomped out COVID, it's China. Our friends China. Oh my God, everybody's dying in the street. You saw those videos, right? When the COVID came out, they're just showing people dropping dead. Like we think this is like some sort of anthrax thing where you get around it and you just drop dead. And now all of a sudden, once the rest of the world shuts down, all of a sudden China is having like 20 cases a day. I was just looking at it, like 25 cases a day. Their line went like this, and it's like non-existent now. There's a reason that China has so few cases. I could probably name a few, but there's a main reason of what China is doing different than the rest of the world, and nobody's talking about it. China's not counting asymptomatic cases. So most of Europe, I believe all of Europe, most of the world, America, asymptomatic cases. Well, I have it. I tested positive, but I don't even feel anything. I tested positive. Test every week. We're going to test you. If you don't get a vaccine, we're going to test. NFL players, test. Oh my God, our cases are up. You know what China's not doing? They're not testing that much. They're not testing everybody all the time. Test. Oh my God, asymptomatic. They're not even counting asymptomatic cases. So that's how they got their cases low. So they're laughing their way to the bank. They're laughing their way to the economic takeover of the world. They're making their men stronger, and they're telling boys to be tough and work out. And we're telling our boys to just be obese, watch Blue's Clues or like SpongeBob tell you he's LGBT friendly and just suck up like Mountain Dew while you're watching the NBA halftime show and eat Taco Bell. Childhood obesity is rising in America as China's telling their kids to work out and get jacked. There's that one video of the girls playing basketball, like, ha. They're all like bouncing the ball. They look like warriors, and we're just sitting there watching. We're like, is SpongeBob going to come out of the closet this week, or is that next week? It's like, I don't know, but probably a 10-year-old shouldn't be like thinking about this stuff right now. It's a little, unage friendly. But anyway, their whole approach to this is different. They're not counting asymptomatic cases. They barely have any cases according to their counts. And also, they're not using an mRNA vaccine, which is the Pfizer and Moderna. That's not a theory. Just look it up. China has yet, at least the last time I checked, to approve an mRNA vaccine for their people. So they seem to have crushed it more than Australia, who's treating their citizens like slaves and prisoners. People think you could just get rid of a virus by being mean to people. It's like, do these people not even realize you treated everybody like shit last year? You closed down beaches, you closed down parks, you closed down restaurants, you destroyed 100,000 restaurants. You destroyed the economy. People's stocks tanked for a little while. There were so many effects mentally, physically. Childhood obesity's up. I would guess adult obesity's up. I haven't seen the numbers yet, though. Opioid overdoses are at an all-time high, and drug overdoses. Our life expectancy is going backwards. You're doing all this collateral damage. And the one thing that they promised to do was slow the spread, right? It's like you're doing 20, 30, 40, 50 terrible things. But are you even slowing the spread? Show me the data that treating everybody like complete shit and closing down gyms and making everybody fatter. Show me the data that's just working so well. Where is that working well in the world? I'm just curious. I'm trying to find it because Peru is leading the world in deaths per capita, and they had one of the world's strictest lockdowns. Australia is going psychotic, and they can't keep it under control. Maybe, just maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there, okay? I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. Maybe treating people like slaves and prisoners and going full authoritarian medical psychopath, maybe that's not the solution to get rid of a coronavirus. Maybe, just maybe, Joe Rogan has something. I'm not saying he's perfect, but maybe working out, being mentally healthy, doing what you love, having a good schedule, maybe that's a better way to beat it. Maybe that's better than, sitting at home, watching the news scare the crap out of you all the time, getting fatter, just slurping up whatever product they put in front of your face, just being addicted to pharmacy products your whole life, and just hoping when you get it that, the good little injection you got is going to do you really well. It's like, that's great. If you want to get it, I'm not knocking it or telling people what to do, but this whole method of how America runs is terrible. So I'm going to listen to another clip, but it's so obvious. It's like, how do people fall for this stuff? I want to read a tweet real quick of Gab, because Gab gets it. They said, GOP said, I support the jab. I got the jab. You should all get the jab. Please go get the jab. We encourage you to get the jab, but making people get the jab is too far. They said totally out of touch and ceding 100% of the narrative to framing the machine. He's totally right. The Democrats were always going to do this. This is like the political circus. I argued with people for years. I didn't just have liberals mad at me. I had Trump supporters. You're an anomaly. Trump's going to he's going to wipe my butt tomorrow. It's like, okay, whatever. I voted for Trump. I'm just saying they're up there. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is like in Arkansas. She's like, you guys should get the Trump vaccine. Every time Trump's on TV, he's like, get it. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, we've been sold it 1,000,000 times, so I'm not telling people what to do, but we know it's there. It's being jammed down our throat. The GOP has been completely tone deaf as the Democrats are shoving it down our throat, as the Biden administration is shoving it down our throat, as it was already semi being shoved down our throat during the Trump administration. All these people are jamming in our face, giving us tests, threatening us, giving us free donuts, bribing us, giving it to the kids, telling kids they can't go to college without it. This is all happening. Nurses are being forced it. Federal workers are being forced it. And what's the GOP doing? Barely saying shit. Maybe one time they'll be like, it's your choice. And everyone's like, because the GOP, they love losing. The GOP base, like, yeah, they said it one time. Yeah, they sold it 1,000 times. It said one. They threw you a bone, and you come back with the bone in your mouth. It's like they didn't do shit. They set us up for this. Trump set us up for this with Operation Warp Speed. All the Republicans said it, and now it's here. They're like, well, I don't know what to do. I'm like, here's a good baseline that we could have done if you guys weren't selling us out to Big Pharma, the two-party Big Pharma system. Who'd you guys vote for? Did you guys vote for Pfizer and Moderna, or did you vote for Pfizer and Moderna? I voted for Trump, so I voted for Pfizer and Moderna, but I know some people voted for Biden. It's a bad idea, but that's also fine. So you didn't really, that's what we had, and we were like, no, he's really doing things. It's like, yeah, they're really setting us up for success. No, they set us up every single way. Who has talked about this? Who has said, hey, China's not testing asymptomatic cases? Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's saying it. They're just like, yeah, we're going to keep testing and keep telling people to get it. And we're just going to keep going along with it. And maybe it's like, where do you think it's going to lead? It was always going to lead here. Let's listen to more. Let's listen to more of this guy. What's his name? Ice Cream Joe. He said something about, I don't even know. I don't even want to.
My message to unvaccinated Americans is this.
What's your message, bro?
What more is there to wait for?
What more?
What more do you need to see? We've made vaccinations free, safe, and convenient. The vaccine is FDA approval.
Cool.
Over 200 million Americans have gotten at least one shot. We've been patient.
So before I even play, it's like, what are they waiting for? Like, I get the idea of why they'd want people to get it, but he's like, what are you waiting for? Over 200 million people have one day. Okay, almost the entire country has gotten it. So what are you waiting for? Almost the entire country of Israel has gotten it. Now they're getting 3 jabs. What are you waiting for? We have the data of what happens when 80-90% of an adult population gets it. And I'm personally not impressed. I'm not like, whoa, it's not like polio where I'm like, dang, you eradicated it. Thank you so much. It's like, oh, the efficacy is down, but it really prevents against severe illness. If it prevents against severe illness, then why would it matter if everyone else took it? If it was a traditional vaccine where it eliminated the virus and you needed everybody to get it to get herd immunity, that would be one thing. I still wouldn't be for mandates, but in general, it would at least somewhat make sense. You know what they're doing? I wouldn't agree with it once again, but it's like they're admitting that you can get the virus and transmit the virus, but they still want you to get it. Oh, it's for everyone else. It's not for everyone else because you're telling us in your own data and in your own thing, this is, the efficacy is kind of low now, but it's to prevent you from getting severe illness. Me or everyone, you get what I'm saying? These people are such liars. The CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, if you look it up, in April, she said she thought that people who got vaccinated could not transmit the virus. So do you notice something? They tell you one thing, another thing happens, the agenda moves forward. Nothing ever makes sense because they're not paying attention to the data. They're not paying. We're going to 15 days to slow the spread because we just want to open up hospitals. Okay, you got the Javits Center, USS Mercy, you got these big ships. Now what? What happened when they got the ships? Javits Center basically went untouched. These ships, barely anybody used them. They didn't tell you they could eliminate the virus. People don't even pay attention. And that's the problem. We're going to get into it. They never said they could eliminate the virus. They said we're going to 15 days to slow the spread so we can prepare in hospitals, right? So they did that. And then they fired a bunch of nurses. They canceled a bunch of cancer screenings, put us like 3 years back on backlog with all this trash that they did. And then those big things that they built, they barely used. So then we could go back to normal, right? Well, no, now we're counting deaths. Well, now we're counting cases. Well, now we're counting this. Well, now we're counting that. Well, now you need a jab. Well, now you need to put your mask back on. Now you need a booster shot. Now you need to listen to us. It's never going to end until people stop listening to them. These people are full-blown psychopaths. I'm going to listen to the rest of it, but it couldn't be more clear. They're never going to stop until people say no. And we'll see what happens, but I'll starve to death before I listen to this psychopath.
But our patience is wearing thin.
Oh.
And your refusal has cost all of us So please do the right thing.
These people are so evil. Your refusal has cost all of us. I love everybody. I don't care if you're big or small. Okay. This is one big party. If you're dancing, I'm dancing. I don't care how big you are. But in general, they're trying to paint this narrative, the unvaxxed versus the vaxxed. The vaxxed are so clean and great, and they're just the greatest, healthiest people in the world. And the unvaxxed are the most disgusting, sickened, toxic people in the world, and they're just going to get you sick all the time. That would make sense, sort of, if the vaccine prevented you from getting ill. If it prevented you from getting sick. Someone at the Daily Wire tweeted today that she got the Pfizer vaccine and she got COVID for the third time and she's having symptoms 3 times. She's vaccinated and got it 3 times. It doesn't even make sense. I've never gotten it. I'm a healthy guy, but it's vaccinated versus unvaccinated. What about, Joe, if you really care about health so much, why don't you try to make people more fit? Obesity is a killer. Heart disease, diabetes. And most of the hospitalizations, at least from the data of a couple months ago, it was people that were obese with COVID. Because if you're 500 pounds and you get COVID, it's going to be a lot tougher than if you're 200 pounds and you get COVID. I mean, this is science that we all understand. Getting fit. The children are getting fatter. The adults are getting fatter, and they don't give a shit. They don't care about health. How much more obvious could it be? What if we all got jacked and we all got 6-pack abs and you mandated exercise and you said it was illegal to be fat? I guarantee you cases and deaths, at least deaths, maybe not cases, would be far down. Not just for COVID, for heart disease, for diabetes. I could almost guarantee that because it's like basic science. But they don't care. They want to paint this narrative. If you don't get the pharmacy product, you are dirty. You can't work here. You can't access stuff. And I said this to people. I'm having a debate soon, but Kristi Noem of South Dakota, she's a libertarian, or she pretends to be, and she's like, I don't want to, I'll let corporations mandate the vaccine if they want. It's not my decision. It's like, well, then I hope you see what happens when you do that, Kristi Noem, because the corporations, they don't have the power to chop your leg off. It's not like, oh, corporations can discriminate. If you're black, they can tell you not to come in. No, corporations can't do that. They can't just chop. Hey, I can walk. Well, I don't want you to have a leg. They chop my leg off. Ah, it's like, oh no, I'm a corporation. Kristi Noem's a libertarian. I guess we can do anything. You can't do anything. It's not like they have the right to supersede other laws just because they're a corporation. They're not God. So why would you allow them to mandate a jab? Well, I want to do it. Well, then I hope you're ready to not access your bank account, Kristi Noem. What if Wells Fargo says, hey, you can't log into your bank account, Kristi Noem, until you get the vaccine? Oh, well, I got it. Well, you didn't get the booster, so now you can't access your money. You can't get on a plane. You can't go to Walmart. You can't go to Whole Foods. You can't buy seeds. Monsanto and Bayer came together, and they decided that they don't even want you to access a seed to grow your own food if you don't get it. Do people not see that this is going there? And I'm not trying to fearmonger people because I'm not scared, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just watching people just like walk into this. The Republicans are walking us into this. Trump walked us into this. The GOP walked us into this, and now they're acting so surprised. Oh, man, this is so bad. You know what would have been a great baseline to fight against this tyranny? And in general, it's already going to happen anyway. A bunch of people who didn't comply to this stuff, but they're like, comply, do it. We want you to do it. Do it. We did it. We're the best. We're the best farm. Cool. Wow. You're going to go down in history as the biggest vaccine salesman in modern history. Wow, you're so great, Donald Trump. You surpassed Bill Gates. Wow, you're even better than Fauci. You're like the biggest vaccine salesman ever. I mean, the CEO of Pfizer's in awe of how much you sell vaccines. Wow, you're so cool. And now that it's here, it's like people that got it. I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, well, I got it. Well, who cares about you? And that's the beginning of authoritarianism. So it's like being a steel mill, and I'm not anti-medicine. I'm just saying it's like being a steel mill and just making steel. And like, I make the best steel. I'm the best steel mill in this side of West Virginia. And then they're making shackles, and they're putting people in shackles, and they're using it to enslave a nation. And Trump's on stage like, I'm making the steel. Go get your steel. I'm making the steel. It's like, thanks for walking us into the gulag, Donald Trump. You're so cool. Thanks for doing nothing when it mattered, Kristi Noem. Like, oh, they're so great. Oh, man. It's the same thing. It's not to say people could or couldn't get it, but there's nothing wrong with steel unless it's being mandated to put around people's ankles. Then you should stop making the steel. And it's the same thing with the jab. There's nothing wrong with medication when it's optional, but it hasn't been optional for 8 months now. So at a certain point, either you're walking us towards the gulag or you're going to do something like a real leader. They're not real leaders. They're actors. They're WWE, like professional losers with cool personas that you guys watch. You're like, oh man. And then they get tombstoned and dumped on the head at the end. You're like, I didn't see that coming. It's like, Are they idiots, or was this scripted the whole time? I can't even tell at this point if they're just completely stupid, or they're sold out to pharma, or it's just a big joke. I don't know. But anyway, I think it's going to come down to what people do. Biden saying, well, Florida better get out of my way. I mean, what? Excuse me, bro? Like, what? These people keep throwing threats at DeSantis and stuff. You're going to knock you out of the way. What do you mean by that, dude? Because a governor's a governor. When Donald Trump was in office, he was like, well, I can't do anything. Gavin Newsom's doing everything. I can't do anything. This person's doing anything. So let's let the governors decide, right? He doesn't want to. We'll see what happens. Let's see how tough the Republicans are now. Businesses, corporations, governors. If enough people don't comply, it's not going to work. It's the only way around this. It's the only way. So I don't tell people what to or not do, but in general, it's very clear that where this is headed, and it's gonna be a numbers game. If Las Vegas Raiders sell tickets and they say you need a vaccine to go to the stadium, and they can't sell tickets, that's actually happening. They lose. You get what I'm saying? It's like a game. It's like the biggest game of chicken ever, where it's like they're looking for, well, we want all the nurses to get this. Okay, cool. But if half the nurses don't do it, now you're short. And what a sicko thing that they're playing. So nurses, people who deliver mail, people who work at gas stations, they called everybody essential workers. You're essential. We love you. You're a hero, they told you. You're the heroes. We're going to make you work through the pandemic when everybody's dying, and you're going to work, and you're going to like it, and you're going to sacrifice your life and do it for the rest of the nation. And you are heroes. Now that there's less cases in certain areas, I don't even know. I haven't even looked at America recently, but in general, it's like we're not in the heat, at least of what it was. I'm sure it's going to spike in the winter with all these dang tests. But in general, it's like, well, now, yeah, you were a hero. We let you work for a year without the vaccine. But now, if you don't get it, you're not a hero anymore. You're a piece of trash. You're toxic. You're disgusting. And you need to leave this facility. That's what they're telling nurses. That's what they're telling people at gas stations. They're telling them, you were the hero last year, unvaccinated. We made you work. But now that we gave you the choice, if you refuse it, you're a piece of trash. You need to get the hell out of here and be poor because we already used you. You were essential last year. Now you're a piece of trash if you don't get it. That's the message they're giving. Do you think people like this are ever going to stop with a booster shot that's almost guaranteed to be once or twice a year? What do people think is going to happen? So in general, I think the optimistic take is hopefully America does what I hope they do and just doesn't cave. Thomas Massey said, Biden does not have the authority to force you to take a vaccine. Inserting an administrative agency and your employer in the middle changes nothing. This only stands if you and your employer comply with his illegal directive. So that's what Thomas Massey's saying. A lot of this stuff is like a game of who does it, right? What's interesting on airplanes? When Trump was president, Trump never mandated masks on airplanes, but they still forced you to wear masks on airplanes, and they kicked you off, and police complied with them. Now that Biden's in office, if you're on an airline, if you listen, they say, this is now a federal law because of President Biden, you have to do it. Well, what was it then when Trump was in? Because they were still forcing it. I don't know that they had the right to do that. I'm not sure how the mandate worded, et cetera, but now they're like, well, Biden's president, so now we can do this. It's like, well, you still did it last year, but police complied. It's all a game of compliance. So I pray that people stand up because it's not about this product or not. I'm not anti-vaxxer. I don't care if people take it or not. But if people don't understand where this is heading, basically a database of, well, we can make you take this at any time. We can make you take a booster at any time, any injection, any pill, any pharmacy product, whether you want to take it or not. The manufacturer who makes it has no liability for it. Who knows if your employer has liability? The government doesn't have liability, but they might have a compensation fund. They might not. That's what they'll tell you if something happens. Oh, you were liable. Yeah, no, that's your choice. There's kids like that who have already taken it, have had side effects. They're like, oh, no, you didn't read it. Oh, no, you did that. And these kids, they're like, no, you forced me to take this to go to college. I'm not saying it's happening left and right. It's rare, but it's still happening. There are 20-year-olds that are having side effects. And they're like, oh, no, that's not, we don't have liability. You decided to do that. You wanted to do it, right? It's like, no, you threatened me, held me for ransom, and said I was basically going to not be able to get a college degree without it. They're like, no, like they're playing stupid and stuff when it goes to the courts, like as if, oh, it's your personal choice. But this is the moment in America. Peacefully, legally, people need to non-comply. And, I think this is like a product, at least watching 15 Days to Slow the Spread. I don't want to point fingers because we're all in on this, just like Australia is. But this has been such a blessed era of America from like, I wasn't alive, but like 70s, 80s, 90s. Now it's such a grateful era. We didn't have that many wars. I mean, Vietnam, World War II for sure. But after that until now, it was one of probably the greatest times in modern history where you could have a picket fence. You could watch the Power Rangers. You could watch Full House. You know what I'm saying? You could afford stuff. You could raise a family. You didn't have to worry about crime. New York City, thanks to Giuliani and stuff like that, started to be on the up and up. Portland was coming up. You know, Austin was coming up. LA wasn't too bad, you know, and like America was really crushing it for a while. So I think people got a little lazy. TV dinners, microwavable stuff like fast food. This is very convenient. Our ancestors, as much as I rag on fast food, it's really a blessing. You know, even if it's a little bit unhealthy, it's still somewhat food. It's not the best ingredients. I mean, some of them are like banned in Europe, so it's pretty gross. But in general, you know, our ancestors used to have to hunt. Some of our ancestors were so poor, they would die for a McDonald's burger. So we grew up in such a convenient era. Once things started getting inconvenient, whether it be in Portland, the liberals don't want to hear it. Austin, they don't want to hear it. Washington, D.C., crime's rising. They don't know what to do. New York City, crime rising. They don't know what to do. Homelessness in Los Angeles, they don't know what to do. And also when the lockdowns happen, you know, bipartisan, people are not ready to face what's going on. And it's very strange to me because all you do is learn about the history of these wicked people. You learn about Stalin. You learn about Hitler 1,000 times more than you learn about Joseph Stalin. Stalin killed more people. You barely learn about him. Mao Zedong killed more people. You barely learn about him. But you do learn about these wicked leaders and their battles and their crimes against humanity and all the nasty, wicked things they all did. And then I guess people just think it all went away, right? They're like, man, we beat the bad guys. We defeated Hitler and everything's fine. It's like, yeah, but we worked with Joseph Stalin. We created the UN with China, you know, Mao Zedong's China, Joseph Stalin's USSR. We kind of worked with them, you know, I mean, they're not going to admit that, or maybe they will and they'll put us, well, we had to defeat them. It's like, you still worked with mass murderers, though. I mean, I'm not saying I don't know what the right decision was. I'm not alive, but it's not like they all disappeared out of thin air. That's what we're taught. So I think people weren't ready for this because life was so good, where I'm not saying anything terrible is happening at this point, but at the same time, times are getting crazy. When you're locked out of a beach, that's not normal. That's not America. That's not constitutional. That's not freedom. You're locked off of a beach over a coronavirus with an astronomically, you know, as far as certain things like some of the things in the Middle East that they had problems with over the last decade, a pretty solid death rate in comparison to these. And they're locking down your society. Australia is basically an open air slave prison. So the point I'm getting to, without being too long-winded, is we've never really had to deal with that much. And now that we do, people don't want to do anything. And I was trying to say this since March because, you know, I'm not asking people to do anything crazy, but it's like, if they're trying to force you to wear a mask to walk 5 steps, it's kind of like a litmus test. So it's like, you know, how willing are you to stand up for yourself? Most people aren't. Most people will comply. They don't believe in it, but they'll wear it. They don't want to do it, but they'll do it. So everyone's just going through the motion. And if you act like a sheep, they're going to treat you like one. If you act like an animal, they're more than happy to put you on the conveyor belt to Big Pharma and make you be a customer for life. And if you opt out, you can't go to society. They're more than happy to do this stuff. If you look up the track record of this industry, they don't have a flawless track record. Look up Bayer, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson. I mean, even Monsanto, who merged with Bayer. I'm not saying they're the worst people in the world, but it's not like they're 100% A+. Like, they've done some pretty messed up things that's on record, and many of them are in lawsuits. But in general, it's like, so people don't pay. Oh, well, I'm just going to. So here we are, right? And now it's going to. What do people want to do? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think when it was easy, no one wanted to do it. When it was pretty easy to do something with a mask, everyone complied and they just strung us along here, 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 here. So no complaining. Here we are. Now they're trying to. I don't think it's going to work because of governors, corporations, people standing up, but they're trying to mandate this across all corporations with over 100 employees, or else a mass testing. We'll see what happens, because the further they push, the crazier it's going to get. And I see a lot of people fear-mongering on Twitter. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. I don't like to think that way. I like to think it's going to get better, but the choice is really ours, right? When it was just, hey, if you don't wear a mask to go into a restaurant, if you don't do this, or if your state does this, like a lot of states, it's pretty much gone. Even Colorado, it's gone. Arizona, it's gone. In a lot of the areas, not all of them, like people aren't even listening. They're living normal life. It's like they're stringing you along, but now it's a little bit harder. And in a year, it will be a little bit harder. And in a year, it will be a little bit harder. So it'll be interesting to see what people do. And I'm not trying to scare people, but it's like, if you want to get these 2 shots, I don't care. But if you want to get the booster, cool. Do you want to get one in a year? Maybe you do. Maybe you want one every 6 months. But if you don't, they're going to keep, it's going to be this thing. Well, we've now decided that we have the power to, kick you out of your job and kick you out of society if you don't get this product. Now we have a new product. Maybe you want to take that. Maybe you don't. They're going to keep pushing. So I hope people get it now, because I know most people are good people. Most people are trying to do the right thing, whether they get it or not. Everybody wants to make a living. Millions of people are afraid. Millions of kids are afraid to lose their college degree. Millions of people are afraid to lose their family income. I get it. That's why I don't tell people what to do. I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be. I don't give advice, but I'm just saying to people in general, this is never going to end at this rate. So at a certain point, everybody's going to have to draw their line in the sand and peacefully and legally just say, no, I've drawn my line in the sand personally. I'll just tell you, I haven't gotten it. I don't want to get it. I'm not anti-vax. I've gotten vaccines before. I got them when I was a kid. To be honest, I got one a couple of years ago. In hindsight, if I knew what I knew now and did as much research, I don't know that I would have. However, I did, and I'm completely fine. Life is good. And, I stepped on a spike and they had a tetanus one and I was out of it, and I had a decision to make, and I was kind of skeptical back then, but I ended up getting it. But I chose to get it. So if anything happened, if I had any side effect, it's my fault. I didn't. I'm fine. Life is good, but that's fine. If you want to get it, it's fine. I'm not anti it, but this has never been optional. It's clearly not optional, and they're trying to threaten, hold people for ransom, harass everybody, and I'm not cool with that. And I'm not cool with it on a freedom level and a constitutional level. And to be quite frank, I am a data-driven person. I'm looking at the data out of Israel. I'm looking at the data all over the world. I'm looking at the data of countries like Sweden, who went with a softer lockdown, and India, who did their own thing. And I'm comparing it to the hard lockdowns in Peru and Australia and vaccinations like the reason I always talk about Israel is because they took all Pfizer vaccines. It's probably the world's best study of all Pfizer vaccines. You got a country of 8 million people where most people are double jabbed, over 2 million people are triple jabbed. You're not going to find a better case study of the Pfizer vaccine, which is the FDA approved vaccine. And me personally, I'm not impressed with the results. I looked at August, and many days they had more cases and more deaths than the August prior. And now it's September. The cases are going up. So I'm not like blown away by the results. If they were at 0, if it went to 0, I would be like, yeah, maybe I'll get it in a year. Maybe I want to see the long-term results. They're doing studies out. The Jerusalem Post said they're doing studies. We're going to figure out the long-term results. Like, okay, you have the right to do that. I should have the right to wait. Now they're talking about these agencies in America. They're doing studies on menstruation problems. Candace Owens and a lot of people were talking about that. They tried to censor it. Now they're doing a study on it. I'm not saying something's happening. I'm not a woman. I don't know. I do identify as Whoopi Goldberg sometimes for jokes, but in general, now they're doing the study on it. They said you can't say it, but now they're still looking into a lot of stuff. So if the data was like amazing, but as the efficacy drops and as the stats are not great, I don't hear like, oh yeah, we were wrong. It's like, now you have to get a booster shot. It makes me not want to get it even more, because I'm like, what is this? Every 6 months I have to get this thing? I haven't even been sick in a long time. I work out, I exercise, I drink tea, I have my own routine. And if it doesn't work for me, I have to bear the consequences. Trying to tell people that everybody else is going to kill them at every time is so dangerous. Especially, I'm going to read this real quick. This is this is just one person. There's definitely horror stories on both sides, I think, of the vaccinated and unvaccinated. But this is someone that works at Daily Wire. I'm just going to read. Her name is Chrissy Clark, and she's got a cool little bucket hat on in her profile picture. Side note, but I like a good bucket hat. I guess she claims she works for Daily Wire or something. Reporter, Daily Wire, covering education. She said, well, after getting the Pfizer vaccine and having COVID twice, I have been diagnosed with COVID for a third time. Symptoms are bad this time around. Prayers are always appreciated. So, I mean, I'm sure there's people who've gotten it multiple times who didn't get the jab, but like, I don't know. I'm not like in a rush to let, sloppy ice cream Joe Biden threaten me. I don't even care. And I get the writing on the wall. I see what's happening. I'm not anti this or that, but I get what they're doing. I think they're going to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing in the wrong direction. China's not counting asymptomatic cases. China's making their kids stronger. We're making our kids weaker. We're counting asymptomatic. We're not doing anything that China's doing. I'm not a huge China fan, but they want to win. They want to win the world. They want to win the economy. They want their men to be strong. They don't want to live in a psychotic testing society where they're testing everybody all the time. They're doing it right. They've bamboozled the whole world into locking down. We've never been the same, and they've been on the right path. Our economy is getting clobbered. Theirs is going up. If you look at the stats last year, I believe, I don't want to quote this because I try to be completely factual, but our economy was in a negative. I believe theirs was only one of the only ones in a positive from what I saw. So we'll see what happens, but I'm prepared for whatever comes out. I'm peaceful. I do everything legal. It's all love. There's no, now they're going to act like everybody's a terrorist who just like politely disagrees. So everything I do is peaceful, legal, respectful, but I think they're going to keep pushing to the point where maybe they won't let me log into Facebook one day. Maybe they won't let me log into Wells Fargo or Chase Bank or whatever you use. Maybe they won't let me do this. I see where they're going, and I would rather live in the woods, eat berries, make my own food, or literally starve to death than comply to this tyranny. Because I believe, and this is just my belief, that this is where it's going. This is not constitutional. This is not democracy. This is not America. People who've lived through communism and saw millions of people getting killed, they know what this looks like. There's people, who are Jewish who compare it to something else, you can't do it, but they do, that feel that it's very similar and others don't. I mean, it's their perspective, but there's other people who live through, Russia, Ukraine, bad stuff, genocides, etc. And they feel that this is eerily similar to what their ancestors dealt with. So I'm not saying anything, but in general, when you lose freedom, when you lose the authority over your own body, and the government and big pharma is allowed to put anything in you at any time or else kick you out of everything, that's a very dangerous precedent. That is not going in the right direction. And I don't say this because I'm like Mr. Tough Guy and I want to go die in the woods or anything, because I don't think it's going to happen. But in general, I think everybody's going to suffer, and people are going to suffer way more than they realize if everybody keeps playing along to this stuff, because it's not like, okay, you want it, you can get it, you're protected from this thing. I see the numbers. If it's anything like other coronaviruses, if it's anything, I'm not saying it is the flu, but if it's anything like where it ramps up every winter we have the flu. Every year we have coronaviruses. The common cold is caused by a coronavirus. The CDC predicts that 2 to 3 people get it every year. I'm not an expert virologist, but if everybody's getting the coronavirus, the common cold 2 to 3 times a year, how come herd immunity is never reached? Maybe there's certain illnesses that you just can't eliminate. And maybe there's ones that we will. Cancer, I would love to have a cure to cancer, but the numbers keep going up and people keep dying. And I wish I could create a cure, but I can't. And then also there's other illnesses that I wish I had a cure, but I can't. I hope a coronavirus cure works, but maybe we're going to have to deal with this for the next 20 or 30 years. So what are we going to do? Act like, seasons don't exist? Every year when the flu hit, they said it's flu season, it's flu season, it's flu season, it's flu season. This was not like, holy crap, everybody, it's your fault. It's your fault. You didn't get the flu. It's like, oh, it's winter. It's cold in most areas, and people get more respiratory and infectious illnesses during this year, and it's not great. But if you want the flu shot, go get the flu shot. And millions of people did, and millions of people didn't. But we knew every year when the numbers went up, they tried to fearmonger. They did stories about hospital beds. They've done this for decades. Look it up. This is not new. And I'm not saying this thing isn't new, but this is not new that they're like, oh, hospital beds, everyone's dying, 80,000 people. Well, they've been doing that, CNN, all of it. Look it up. Flu, hospital beds, UK. I took a picture from the same article. It wasn't CNN, another thing. 2010 to 2020, every year they said that they were out of hospital beds. I did a whole video on that. But in general, I'm not comparing better or worse, but I'm just saying we always knew that in the winter, it got worse with these sort of illnesses. So now if the numbers spike, is anybody going to come out and say, well, yes, it's not great what's happening. However, it is the winter, and this is not abnormal for America to see more hospitalizations and respiratory illnesses around this time. They're not going to say that. They're going to act like they never even had seasons before. They're going to act like there is no such thing. Climate change is real, except when climate changes for fall and winter. Now, all of a sudden, we've never even heard about it, even though everybody knows for the last 70 years that there were always more cases of certain things in the winter. So they've lost their collective minds. They're acting like diet and fitness doesn't matter. They're demonizing vitamins. They're demonizing going to the gym. They're demonizing going to the beach. They're demonizing public gatherings that keep people mentally and physically healthy. They've driven up childhood obesity, which is going to lead to millions of people dying way earlier than they should have if these kids don't get some damn exercise. But they're not allowed to because they're treated like animals at their school, and they have to stand on little things. They can't play with their friends. And then they're putting everybody in line for a pharmacy product. This is like if the devil ran health. Like if God ran health, it would be like, listen, it would be a multi-step process. It would be like, okay, kids, we want you to be healthy. Get as fit as you possibly can. Drink as much water as you can. Don't drink too much, but drink some water. Exercise. We want you to have the best diet, the best fitness, and everybody would be somewhat fit. This is if God ran our health plan. And it's like, okay, everybody's fit. Now we're going to go on the next part. And then if you get sick, of course we have medication. Of course there's a use for some sort of pharmaceutical or some sort of herb or plant, whatever is useful for you. And then the medicine comes in when someone's sick. That's if God ran the health. If Satan ran the health industry, he'd be like, let's make the kids fatter. Let's lock down beaches. Let's lock down churches. Let's lock down parks. Let's demonize concerts. Let's talk shit about any conservative event, but we're going to pretend like Lollapalooza randomly doesn't spread the virus because it's in Chicago and we like the lesbian mayor. We're going to treat everybody like crap. We're going to yell at them all the time. We're going to cover up their breathing holes. We're going to cover up their mouth and their smile. We're going to make the kids wear this for 8 hours. We're not going to let them play with each other. And then we're just going to pump pharmacy products into them. And even if they get fatter and more unhealthy, and if the cases go up, we're just going to blame the people like Joe Rogan who actually work out and people who decide to opt out of this stuff. That's like straight up wicked. It's like it's opposite day. And any scientist and any virologist and any doctor that's at least not saying that, you should be ashamed of yourself. And a lot of these doctors and nurses, I'm not going to name names, I'm not going to talk, but they're not the healthiest people in the world. If you want to be a beacon of health, why don't you get fit yourself? If you're 200 pounds overweight and you're a virologist, it's like you're talking about everybody else, but you should also pay attention to yourself. And I'm not trying to make fun of people. I'm just saying that's root level health. We could talk about medicine. We could talk about vaccines. We could talk about COVID. We could talk about Pfizer and Moderna. I have no problem with it. We could talk about the data. We can go over the metrics. But if you guys are completely ignoring fitness, you're completely ignoring the downsides and the collateral damage to what happened, acting like it's not even a thing, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're not a doctor. You're not a fitness expert. You're not a health icon. You're just a pharmacy lazy shill who's hurting children. When their obesity goes up, so do a lot of other things later in life. We can't have our kids being fatter. In China, they're making them thinner and stronger. The kids are getting jacked because they want to win a freaking war. They want their we're like going backwards in time. And our government is now using COVID as an excuse. Well, you're an extremist. Well, you're this. Well, you're that. It's nothing but authoritarianism. It's nothing but big government overreach where anybody who tells the truth is now penalized under the guise of an emergency, under the guise of a health. It's a joke. But that's my take on it. Let me know yours. I'm going to read some comments. God bless everybody. Stay strong. And in general, that's my take. I don't tell anybody what to do. I never have. People ask me, should I get it? Should I not? Which one should I take? I don't want to tell you. I believe in the old school way. Talk to a doctor that you trust. Don't talk to a doctor you don't trust. Talk to yourself. Talk to a family member. Talk to people you know and go with your decision. I don't tell, when I had problems, I texted nurses I know. I wanted to get everybody's perspective, and then I made a decision. So I don't want to tell people their decision, but that's my decision personally, is I'm not getting it. I have never had a test. I'm never getting a test. I don't want it jammed up my nose, and there's nothing wrong with it if you do. But if I take a test, I want to take a test under my own will. If I'm sick, I'll go to the doctor and take a test. But I'm not forced taking a test to go to an event. If I have to, I'm not going to that event. And people ask me, what about a fake thing? It's like, first of all, they're illegal. So now you're committing a crime. I'm not trying to be a snitch or anything, but don't commit a crime in general. It's like, if you need to fake a vaccine passport to go somewhere, just don't go there. If you can't even take that minor inconvenience, how the hell are you going to stop authoritarian? You're not. That's our problem. Everybody wants to do us easy. So it's like, I'm not faking a vaccine card. One, it's illegal. Also, I'm not going to pretend I have it. I'm not getting it. I'm healthy. I'm strong. I'm fit. I'm in great shape. I'm not ill. If I do get sick, I stay inside because I'm not a piece of trash, degenerate person who wants to get other people sick. And that's how I live my life. And if you don't want me at your event, then I won't go. If you don't want me at your job, then I won't go. If you won't let me make money online, I don't care. I'll figure out another thing. If I can't figure out another thing, I'll try to make my own food. If I can't, I'd rather die than ever put up with such a wicked, disgusting, degenerate, evil society that forces a cloth over people's breathing holes and smile so nobody can even communicate. I'm getting like ice cream. I went to Press Juicery. It's like ice cream, but it's like better quality. Shout out Press Juicery. They're delicious. But anyway, the guy is super cool, right? He sounds like Kenny from South Park. Bro, you're awesome. I can't hear you. I can't see you. You're a nobody to me. I like you. I appreciate you. You're worse than I can't hear you. What? 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 Yeah, I'll take the granola drizzle, bro. I can't hear you. I can't see you. Like you're like a nothing. You're like a non-playable character in a video game that's hiding behind a tree. Like that's what the government and the corporate class made you. And you can see me out here, like I'm a big boy now. Okay, I'm getting strong. I'm working out. I don't sit in front of CNN or Fox News and listen to them scream at each other. Like I'm exercising. I'm in the ocean. I'm out. I'm running laps. I'm riding bikes. Like I don't subscribe to this. Let me eat chocolate chip, lose my damn mind on television and act like I'm better than everybody. You're not better than everybody, Joe Biden. You're not the healthiest person your age. You're not mentally healthy. You looks in good shape physically, but in general, it's like, leave us alone. You do you. I'm going to do me. And that's my hill to live on. I'm not going to give into it, but I don't tell people what to do, but I don't think this is going to get better if everybody keeps caving. And I'm not making up a conspiracy theory, literally. And then I'm going to get to questions. Look at every aspect of this. 15 days, extension to Easter. Do this, and you'll get this. Do this, and you'll get this. Do this. How many times have they done this? I'm going to use Joe Biden as the carrot. 15 days to slow the spread. Okay. Oh, no. Well, Trump said we're going to extend it past Easter. Oh, damn it. Well, now we're just going to lock down for a couple months. And okay. Well, now we got to wait till we get the vaccine. So we're going to just lock you down till we get the vaccine. Well, now we got to do it to the election because, Mike Lindell's selling pills. And it's like, well, no, the vaccine's out. So now everybody could be free. Oh, no. The vaccine's out and everyone can't be free. Only the vaccinated can be free. Oh, you got a vaccine and you thought you were going to be free? Well, the cases are going up and we realized that we told you the efficacy was 95 and it's not anymore. So now you have to put a mask on too, even though you got vaccinated. But I got vaccinated to take a... Oh, yeah. Well, also, now if you go on Royal Caribbean, I know we told you if you're vaccinated, you don't have to take a test, but you do have to take a test because we're filthy liars and vaccinated people can actually get the virus too. So even though you have vaccines, there's still people catching up. Oh, yeah, the 2 booster shots. I know we told you to just gang up on the unvaccinated, but like now it's actually like your fault too. So like you have to get a booster shot. Like what part of the carrot on a stick do people not understand? Every time they give you a goal and you reach it, it would, if they did this in real life, you would be like the biggest moron for believing them. Seriously, like I do it like 30 times and you still think I'm going to give it to you. It's like, I'm lying to you. Like how clear could it be? Eat your ice cream, Joe. Hopefully Republicans, conservatives, honest liberals, progressive. I know a lot of people, Glenn Greenwald. There's a lot of people who got vaccinated. I'm going to read somebody now, Brandon Darby. I believe he works for Breitbart, but he was retweeted by Glenn Greenwald, progressive journalist. Brandon said, one can be vaccinated, hope others get vaccinated, and also not support mandates. I'm seeing a lot of people who think that there's team A and team B on this issue. And similar to most things in life, that's just not the way it is. Of course. And they're going to make it like black and white, left and right, red and blue, vaccinated, unvaccinated. They're going to make it like that. But I know people like Nuance Bro who got the vaccine who are against mandates. I know people like, I don't know if Glenn Greenwald's vaccinated, but there's people who are against the mandates even though they got it. It's got to be that. And I hope people know who are jabbed. A lot of people who are jabbed are going to say, well, it's not me, it's not me. It's like with censorship. They get rid of Alex Jones. Well, he's a kook. It's not me. Then they get rid of this people. Well, it's not me. It's not me. Eventually, it's going to be you. That was the GOP. It's not me. It's just Alex Jones. It's not me. It's just this person. It's not me. It's just Nick Fuentes. It's not me. It's just Milo Yiannopoulos. It's not me. It's just Laura Loomer. It's not me. It's just, and then all of a sudden, like everybody disappears and now they're censoring Democrats too. Like, what? I didn't know I could get, and then like Trump gets censored and like Jim Jordan gets censored. And then they're like, oh, censorship's pretty bad. It's like, yeah, bro, it's been bad for 3 years. Where were you? So to the vaccinated, people are going to try to be like, it's not me. But if this keeps going down this path, it's going to be you eventually. It's not about the unvaccinated. It's not about Republicans or Trump support. They're just trying to pretend it's like that. And then they move the goalpost 7 times. It's like, I got 5 booster shots and I still get things jammed up my nose every week just to work here. And it's like, it's no way to live. Why don't they test for everything all the time? I mean, there's a lot of things. They should test for STDs everywhere. Every store you go in, any nightclub, before you have sex with a woman, shove something up someone's whatever and test them for herpes and AIDS and stuff. Test everyone for everything all the time. Why don't we I've never had a test. I'm never getting a test. That's my line in the sand because I'll get one if I want. I'm not even being forced tests. I have to fly, but it's like I don't go in facilities anymore that force mask me. We have to stand strong. And listen, if New York City wants to be that way, let New York City be that way. If Portland sucks, no offense. New York City, I love New York City. I love Los Angeles. Their leadership sucks. They're going down the drain unless the people there actually come to their senses. It's like, I don't want to be like them. I see what they're doing crime-wise, police-wise, like everything they're doing. It's like if I wrote, I'm not gonna say I'm the smartest person in the world, but I'm not an idiot. If I wrote down, here's how you'd fix a city, they literally do the opposite of everything I would do. And it's not even like a partisan thing. It's just common sense. Let them do this stuff. Let Joe Biden slurp his ice cream. They got to leave us alone at a certain point. That's why we have Texas. That's why we have New York City's never been Texas. Florida's never been Arkansas. Arkansas's never been California. So let's leave each other alone and let's try our own thing. And if they don't want to travel to Florida, don't go to Florida. If you don't, oh my God, Ron DeSantis is killing someone, said Stephen King. Stephen King is a full-blown psychopath. He's like the mind of he's like, oh my God, he's a psychopath. It's like, Steve, you're looking in the mirror. You're the biggest psycho ever. You write a bunch of like thrillers, like, I don't even know what Stephen King writes. A bunch of like murder mysteries or creepy stuff, like Mr. Creepo. How'd you think of that stuff, Steven? I don't know, man. It just came to my head. I wonder why. I don't think of stuff like that. I'm too busy. Like, I'm thinking of butterflies and beaches. This dude's thinking of like murdered, like clown things. But in general, it's like, if you're so afraid around DeSantis, don't go to Florida. I promise you, no one cares. Trust me. I know probably 100,000 people here are from Florida. Nobody will miss you, Stephen King. I don't think anybody cares. Don't go there. If you don't like Orange County, don't go there. If you don't like Texas, don't go there. If you want to go to Texas and be around a bunch of betas who like crap on the streets and let it go get degenerates, go to Austin. You could maybe you could, hang out with Joe Rogan and do psychedelics or something. He likes Austin, but most people in Texas realize that it's not the play. In general, that's the great part about America. We don't need a federal freaking mandate. I don't want to be like you, Joe Biden. I don't want to eat ice cream. I don't slurp on dairy like that, like a disgust. And then you're like, my throat's inflamed. Oh no, my gut inflamed. It's like, because you're eating too much ice cream, bro. Dairy. I don't even eat that much dairy. I eat cheese and stuff. I'm not an alien, but in general, it's like I'm not eating ice cream like this. If I did, I'd get it, I'd have mucus building up and I start getting inflamed. That's called real root level health, Joe. How many push-ups can you do? I can do more push-ups. Yeah, I'm about 30, 40 years younger than you. So what you going to do about it? Never mind. I don't want him sending somebody. They're going to be like, fact check. And I'm just kidding. Calm down. But yeah, let's do our own thing. I don't want to be like them at all, ever. So they can try that in Austin and LA and New York, and I'm going to try this here. Okay, let's try it out. Let's see what you guys think. Someone said, I've been to the emergency room. Felicity said, I've been to the emergency room many times in the pandemic, but it's dead. I go in faster than urgent care. Yeah, I mean, everything, like, this is all built on, like, they want everyone to just be like, you can't run a society like that. It's time to buckle in your seatbelts and get back to work. Whatever your job is. The unemployment ended and everyone's freaking out. Trust me, I get it. I don't want people to go without food and stuff, but everywhere I walk now hiring, now everything's hiring because nobody can hire anybody because they gave everybody more money. They ruined the economy. Here, you could have $25 an hour just sitting at home. So now that it's gone, people are like, what do we do? It's like, get a job. Seriously. And I'm not trying to sound like an old boomer, like, get a job, you hippie. But seriously, it's like everywhere now hiring. I've never seen so many hiring signs. It's because nobody wants to work because the COVID package gave everybody more money than they could earn anywhere else. So now they're like, what's going to happen? That's the left. Oh no, we can't just sit on our ass and destroy society. The boomers are right. I'm here to tell the old conservative boomers, you were right. I was wrong. I was like, what the hell are they talking about? They're telling me to get a job. You were right. I needed to get off my ass and get a job. I just didn't want to. I wanted to play video games and Super Smash Bros. I thought I was Kirby. So I didn't want to listen to the boomers, right? Get a job, Anomaly. You're out of college. You need to get a freaking job. No, I'm Kirby. Literally, I thought I was him. I turned into a brick. I'm hitting my friends in Super Smash Bros. I thought I was him. I got so lit. I thought I was Yoshi. You were right though. I just needed to get a job. And I did get a job. And then I got another job. And then I got another job. And then I worked 30 jobs and I busted my ass harder than everyone else. So now I own my own company and I'm the CEO because I work my ass off. And I probably worked harder in 1 week than most people do in 10 years. They're sitting on their ass playing video games like I used to. The boomers are right. It's time to get a job. So the pandemic's over. Listen to your boomer parents. They said, get a damn job. It's that everywhere's hiring. Go. No one wants to do anything anymore. Everybody's afraid. What a joke of a society. All right. Someone said it's time to secede. Well, people are talking about that in Texas. It's going to come to a standstill at a certain point where certain people are not going to do certain things. You know, if Texas is smart, like they're not going to do this. And if Florida's smart, they're not going to do this. So there's going to be a standstill where everyone looks at each other and it's like, I'm already there. I'm like, I don't live in this world. Like I don't have to do anything. I'll leave. I don't have to be here. You know, California found out that very quickly. They got real cocky like Joe Biden. Oh, we can do whatever we want. We're dictators. Elon Musk moved his ass to Texas. That's one of the most prolific liberals, to be fair, probably one of the only ones, you know, as far as like progressive, like younger guys who actually does something. And you chased his ass out of California. You chased out Tim Dillon and Joe Rogan. Nobody wants to live in California anymore. All the comedians are moving to Austin. And then they're going to move to Austin, destroy that. It's like, just stop being so degenerate. But in general, you know, they got super cocky in California and they lost a lot of people. Same with New York City. We're going to hike the taxes. We don't have to stay here. And then people move to Florida. So they're going to play themselves. Don't think they're going to win this game because they're not. And in general, how are you going to win when the areas that they run are just getting grosser and grosser and grosser and grosser? I lived in LA for 7 years. It's worse than it's ever been. And there's no signs of it changing because the people in charge are like Joe Biden. They just call everybody else names. They blame the unvaccinated. It's like, what a great excuse. Last year, they got to worry about forest fires. They got to worry about homelessness. You know, California, the last time I checked, has like one of the biggest economies in the world, not in America, in the world. Yet they have one of the biggest homeless problems and also one of the biggest poverty problems. How are you going to have the biggest economy in the world, but also the most poverty? One word, Democrats in charge. 3 words, sorry. It's like, so last year they had to worry about this. This year, none of that matters. It's all that guy's fault for not taking a Pfizer shot. It's like, do people not pay attention? And Emily, don't say, you go stay there. Like people talk to me, like, it's like, go live in that area. Like my life doesn't revolve on a computer. I really lived. I was a real boy. I lived in Los Angeles. I walked around the streets. I didn't just sit on the internet all the time. Like, don't you live there? People complain to me like once in a while on Twitter. They're like, oh no. And I was like, Los Angeles. And I'm like, bro, don't talk to me on Twitter. Go outside and go clean the poop off the street. Like you shouldn't even be conversing with me right now. Like I don't want to be like you. I know you think that way. So stay away from me. I want to be like Goku, like Kamehameha. Just, like you go there. I'll stay here and you think that way and do all those things and do it there. You know, you could go to Wii Spa and, pick which side you want to go on and have a black, whatever you just don't come around me. And that's what Creepy Joe just can't do. We get it. I didn't vote for you. It's fine. I never hated on you that much. Just eat your ice cream and pretend you're the president and let smarter and more competent, more mentally, sane people run the show while you just sit up there and do what you got to do. But now you got to be like Mr. Dictator. Well, I've decided that everyone has to do what I want. We don't want to be like you, Joe. You eat ice cream like a demented moose eating like, a fern or something. I don't know. We get it. Who says that this guy could just do this all over? Who does he think he is? We have a constitution. We have a court system. And Amy Coney Barrett better not. Well, technically, I think it's okay. It's like, of course you do, Amy. God forbid we get an actual court in there, but whatever. All right. Mountain Ghost said, I'm a 63-year-old boomer, and we all do not think like most of you think I do. I agree with everything you put out almost 100%. I know we've had this conversation before. I don't hate boomers. I find myself boomering out sometimes. I'm not a total boomer, but sometimes I'm like, get the hell off my lawn. You know, I'm on the phone. Someone's outside. I'm like 31. I act like I'm an 80-year-old grandma. I'm like, excuse me, there's two degenerates on my lawn. It's like, they're like my neighbors. No, I'm just kidding. But in general, I don't hate boomers. I just think it's funny to make fun of things sometimes. I don't like think all boomers are stupid or something. I just think it's a funny thing to do. Just like making fun of millennials. Like all millennials aren't like, ooh, I like oat milk lattes and, you know, craft beer. It's like, but it's funny to say that. And they're like, oh, you know, I always say, I don't hate liberals. They're really good at making garlic aioli sauce. You know, if you've ever gone to like a nice hipster area, get the garlic aioli sauce. You'll have a blast. But they're just not good at running governments right now. So they need to, I'm not trying to be mean. I just think it's funny. So I'm trying to get that clear. Most of my audience is probably boomers at this point. I can't hate on boomers that much. I'm gonna lose 95% of my traffic. So I don't mean to feel like a hater. I just think it's just like, it's like a low hanging fruit joke that I just have to make because it's funny. But some boomers, yeah, you know, they don't get it. And millennials, you get it. Someone said I'm Gen Z. I don't even know how to make fun of you, so I won't. Someone said greed, power, and control of overtaking people's morals and principles. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm still focused on myself though. I'm not even flustered today. I'm a little annoyed, but I'm worried about what I'm doing. I'm not worried about what Joe Biden's doing. I'm not worried about the mandates. I have my stance. I'm a nice guy. I'm a peaceful guy. I try to raise the joy levels in my community. I try to have a good time. My life is good. I try to, you know, be a good person. I'm not worried about all this other stuff. If they want to come knocking and tell me that it's time for me to get the jab or something, that's on them. But I'm not, until that day comes, I'm not going to let these losers get me down. Because a lot of it is this like scare game. They want you to be afraid. And don't think it's just the left. They want the left to be afraid of the virus, and they want the right to be afraid of them, right? I'm so afraid. I believe in America. Call me naive. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in America. I believe in the boomers and the zoomers. I think we're a special nation. I think we're going to get through it. I don't think most people are going to listen to it. I already know most people aren't going to listen to it. I've traveled the 7 seas. No, I'm just kidding. But I've been to Colorado, more accurately. It's a liberal area. They're not even listening. The CDC says to wear masks. Nobody had masks on. Everybody's tired of it, okay? So, you know, don't just yell at people on Facebook because that's a small minority. I believe in this country. I don't think we're going to fall for this. I think Joe Biden is going to go back to slurping ice cream. You're not good at being president. You're good at eating vanilla ice cream. You're good at, he looks like a deer in the headlights. You're like, why'd that deer just eat my ice cream? It's like, you're good at just standing there while smarter, just stop pretending like, who does he think he is? Someone said, I'm not afraid, angry at the supporters. I'm not even angry though. I mean, you could be angry, but I'm not even angry. I'm just like, just stop. I don't know what people think is going to happen. I don't know. It's like, you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. I'm stepping aside. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't know though. Mateo said, no fear, trust yourself and others, connect to self, others, and natures. I like that. That's a good vibe. See, he gets it. That's a good time. I might have to, hold on. Where are my weights at? We got to, listen, this is what I've been doing recently. I made this song. I'm not going to play it the whole time, but I made this song called Too Jack for the Gulag because it's not like a joke. I'm not going. So I'm getting too jacked for the Gulag. So instead of caving to this nonsense, instead of crying about it, let's just work out and get super strong and fit. And then they're going to cry. And then they're going to be like, you know, why won't you get the booster? I don't want your booster. I'm going to get, hold on. What this? All right, we're gonna get so fit that I'm too strong to go to the gulag. All right, let's go. I'm not going, Joe. I'll put it down a little. It might be too loud. I'm not. I'm not going, Joe. This is my health routine, Joe. I'm trying to. You can't do this, Joe. I never seen you lift the weight, Joe Biden. Jen Psaki's not on my level. She's not. Me and Jillian Michaels are stronger than Joe Biden and Jen Psaki. I'm not going to the gulag. It's not even in my peripherals. I can't even see it because it's not happening. So I guess there's no more Biden ice cream picture. That was funny for a while. Someone said, I'm going to read, Chris said, y'all listening to a rapper who got involved in politics? What a joke. It is kind of funny that I'm one of the more common sense people. It's not my fault. I didn't ask for everyone else to be so stupid. It's like, oh, listen to a rapper. Is it my fault that Foo Fighters like, yeah, I'm such a rock star. The only way to be a real rock star is go to Rage Against the Machine playing at a bank festival with like a bank sponsor. It's like, oh yeah, they're so cool. Oh yeah, back that vax up. The real way to get back at the system is to just show for Big Pharma. Whatever. I didn't ask for this life, Chris, but you're apparently listening too. I always laugh. People are like, I can't believe people listen to this. It's like, you're here. What do you believe, Chris? Because I have a lot of data. This is my research, Chris. This is just from the last week. I already threw a lot. Look at this, Chris. I could write a whole book. I am writing a book. It's in my head. It's in my head, Chris. What do you got? What do you know? Let me know. I'll read your comment. What's your stance on this? You just listen to the TV or something? Or JM said, love your message. Thank you. Where's the book? I've been getting lost in the sauce. I've been doing too many videos. I haven't written the book recently. It's been a great summer though. Like everything's on the up and up. You know, the videos are getting, they're doing well, everything. So I got to just one day get back to the book, but I had one of my best months ever last month with the videos and such. So God is great. I'm sticking to what's good. When it's hot, don't stop it. When the gravy trains are rolling, you got to keep it going because you never know when it's going to stop. It might be December and they're like, excuse me, Anomaly, unless you have your 7th dose of Pfizer, you can't log into Facebook. I'm like, what the hell? They're like, please, can you prove your participation of COVID identification, vaccine number 7, Pfizer, Comirnaty? And I'm like, I don't have the 7th one. They're like, sorry, you can no longer make money with it. Like that might happen. So if the gravy train's hot, we got to keep it going. I'll write the book, but the block's been hot recently. So I'm chefing up in the kitchen for now, but we'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to read. Someone said most rappers sold out to their label. Anomaly didn't sell out. I don't even have to rap anymore. It's at the point where I could just do like a tour around the country and just read children's books and I'd sell tickets. I don't even have to rap. Russell said, listen, because I can't be the only one left with a brain. Thank you, Russell. Appreciate you. I might have to do something soon. I don't know what yet, but we'll figure it out. All right. How long have we been here? 1 hour, 13 minutes, a couple more minutes. Someone said, who's my minister? What do you mean? Who's my minister? My prime minister? Who's my pastor? My pastor's Justin Trudeau. My prime minister and Justin Trudeau, I listen to every word. He's just, oh man, when he wears a Letterman varsity jacket, oh man, it just feels like one of my buddies from high school, all over again. I just remember being on the track meet, homecoming king. Justin Trudeau's my hero. You ever seen him? Someone said they want to hear the entire song. I mean, I'll give you a little bit if y'all want to hear it. Say, I'm way too jacked for the gulag. I ain't getting caught like it was a game of school tag. AOC want to put me on to the food stamps, but I ain't. Listen, I don't want to bore y'all with the music, but I got bars. I don't want it to get awkward. We'll see what we say. We want to answer questions or we want the song. I like to be a man of the people. I don't want to push it on it. I'm not like promo code. You got to buy it all the time. People don't even know I rap sometimes because sometimes I'm doing a show. Sometimes I'm not. The new one, my new one's not like, it's not even done yet, but I got a reggae song coming soon. I got a new song. I got songs on songs. My reggae song is smooth. I don't know if I could play it. My buddy, it's not released yet, but listen, I'm out here. The reggae song's a good time. It's just, you're just sitting. I'm excited for that one. Someone said universal law. That's a classic. All right, I'm going to read a Ben Franklin quote instead. Someone said Ben Franklin once said, "Those who give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither." Who's Ben Franklin? Isn't Ben Franklin that neo-Nazi conspiracy theorist? Who is Ben Franklin? Wasn't he like a skinhead, like Malcolm X, like black Israelite or something? Can you guys remind me who Ben Franklin was? I can't remember. I just remember him being like an extremist or something. Because like if he talked about liberty, he must have been a really bad guy. Some sort of like Farrakhan supporter / like Trump voter. I don't know. Oh, Ben Frank. Oh, the founding father. Yeah. He talked about liberty. That's weird. Joe Biden says freedom doesn't matter. Joe Biden's like, freedom. It's not about freedom. It's about me not pooping my pants on stage before Kamala takes over. It's like, I agree. We all have things to do. I have a business to run. You have a country to run, and you have a set of depends there just as an extra layer of support. We all go through it. Listen, we're all getting older. I'm not going to laugh at it because there's going to be a day when I'm going to need depends. So when the president of the United States needs them, there's nothing wrong with that. We all get older. So I respect the fact that he at least knows that it's not enough just to wear, long johns. You got to have an extra layer of support, a baby diaper under there just to catch any fallen debris in case, something bad happens. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing funny about that. He's our president. He's driving the ship. I hope the ship, I don't want the ship to sink. So that's why I support if he does. I'm not saying he does. There's nothing wrong with him wearing Depends undergarments, with a little baby powder, but just make sure, read the Johnson & Johnson lawsuit and understand, the new baby powder probably doesn't have what the old baby powder does. But in general, there's nothing wrong with that. And just because you guys voted for Trump, you can't be making fun of this guy. I'm really tired of seeing people make fun of Biden. He wears Depends because he has to, and you're going to get that old one day too. So if he has to wear baby diapers in order to not poop himself, that's my president, and I hope he does. I hope he looks good on a world stage because God forbid he pooped his pants in front of Vladimir Putin. It's embarrassing, not just for him. That's embarrassing for all of us. So you gotta understand. If he does, I'm not saying he does, if he wears diapers, it's for our whole country and we should all wear diapers. So I'm just spitballing. MTV, a la Luna, the more they show, looking like the Truman. All right, I'm going to hit the verse real quick. It's way too jacked for the gulag. Messing with me? I got soul and spirit in my heart. My mind faster, sharper than a dart. I ain't got to start. I'm a legend. They have to bow down to the devil. I will not settle. We were some immigrants. Now we some very, very lucky citizens. I will not give it in. I know they want to come militant, taking taxes off my... I know they feel me in Michigan even. Listen, if Biden has to do that, he has to do that. You guys got to stop being so rude. Anyway. Someone said, I've been listening to you for a while, and I really like your opinions until today. I didn't know you were a rapper. I know I don't promote it that much because I'm busy. I wear many hats. Like, you ever see Dr. Seuss? He's, the cat in the hat has that long hat. That's like me. I don't know where my hats are. I clean my house, but I wear different hats. So Anomaly, just look up on Spotify. I have a song with Trapped. I have a reggae song coming out. Should I play the reggae song? I don't know. I don't know if it's, I probably shouldn't because it's not my song. I'm like featured on a reggae song, but whatever. You get it. Anomaly, the O's a 0. But I don't even care. I might just go on a tour and just read books. I don't even know if I might retire tomorrow and come out of retirement on Sunday. Someone said Occupy Wall Street, buy GME. I'm not big in the GMA AMC, but respect to all my people out there buying up those stocks. You know, I support you. I just don't know what the hell's going on. I'm a boomer when it comes to that. Someone said Anomaly's got bars. All right, we'll run it back a little. I got the infinite. I know they feel me in Michigan. Even Alabama's into it. I just say roll tide, we gon' win again. I get them rolls wide like a Michelin man. I be different. I know they sick of it. All of these sycophants steady hinting that they want the gulags for the discipline. I am a true man. I stay vigilant. I do not wish for the militant, but I have to say it's so close. It feels intimate. They move the goalposts like an instrument. I will not go slow to imprisonment. Yeah, I'm way too fast for the gulag. I'm way too fast for the gulag. I don't look good in the do-rag. God is great, myself a new hat. Hey, my work ethic is an earth treasure. Y'all ain't heard records like I serve better. They want throat choke like a surf necklace. Y'all are so gross like a bird breakfast. It's light work. I even forgot about that song. It's like Joe Biden. I forgot about it. You know, I made it a couple months ago. I already forgot about it. But way too jacked for the gulag. It's on Spotify. Way too jacked for the gulag. That's it. Someone said, come to Washington. We need your voice. Government Inslee is hurting us. Hey, Governor Inslee, stop. Maybe they heard that in Washington. I can't do shit. I'm not as powerful as I look. I know, you know, I lift a few weights or whatever, but I don't, people are like, Anomaly, Australia, Canada. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I can't help. I don't know. I wish I could. Seriously. I wish I had a magic wand or I was a judge or something, but I'm not. So I cannot help Washington. You know, sometimes I can't even clean my own kitchen, let alone help Washington. So I got work to do. But God bless Washington. I hope the best. Someone said rap bioweapon. Bioweapon, I never put that on Facebook because I was afraid they were going to censor it because they're psychos. Not, you know, God bless Facebook, but I'm just saying the censorship is getting a little psychotic. Someone said I want to play tennis with you. I do like tennis. Message me on Instagram. I'm not going to say I could play tennis with you, but I do like tennis. It's like a kid with a candy store. You're like, hey, don't go in that person's yard. And then they're like, yeah. And then they're like, I have candy. And then they fall for it. That's like me with sports. You're like, Anomaly, I want to hang out. I'm like, I don't even know you. You're like, let's play tennis. And I'm like, maybe. Someone said Owen Benjamin, Barricade Garage, and Anomaly are the funniest men on the entire internet. Nobody compares to those legends. Appreciate your work. Well, thank you, Justin. I appreciate being in that category. Owen is hilarious. Barricade is very, very funny. His skits are so good, man. I love that guy. Barricade Garage on YouTube. He's very witty with the camera angles, too. It's not easy to do that. He's good with like the back and forth angles as well. I love that guy. Who is the song? It's my song. Like, I'm not trying to have a whole concert, but I got hits. I got hits out there. And I'm about to drop my best song ever, but I'm not even ready. I'm not even ready to fully drop it, but I almost want to just flex on it real quick, but I won't do it. Let's calm down. I don't want to have a full-on concert, but I'm tempted to just throw one out. Someone said, did I watch the Greg Gutfeld interview with Trump? I didn't. Spiritual advisor said, great work, brother. Speak truth to God. Bless blind. Great work, brother. Speak the truth. God bless you. Lead the blind to sight. Thank you. Someone said, please check IGDM Big Sky Telemark. Let's talk about skiing and life. All right, message me. I didn't see the interview. I've been tapped out of politics where like, I'm tired of the circus. I get it. Trump, Biden, I've seen it. I voted, but I'm voting for, I'm going to vote for the recall, vote yes on the recall. I don't feel like watching Greg Gutfeld. Maybe I'll check it out, but like, I'm not a hater, but I don't know. I don't feel like listening to Greg Gutfeld talk to Trump, but maybe I'll try to check it out. Someone said listening party. I don't know. My new song is fire. It's going to be my best song ever, I think. But they always say that, right? They drop a new song and then it's like, it's not even that good. Was the interview good though? Anybody who saw the Greg Gutfeld interview, was it good, or am I missing something? Was there like a good moment? I'll see. Thank you, Unloading Clips. I'm not now. All right, maybe I'll do a little bit of my new song. Hold on. I've done it before, but not the whole thing. I'll just do the first song. I'll do the first verse of my new song. This isn't out yet. I'm gonna rap it live like it's a concert. So, all right. This is not the reggae song, but it's my new song. Hold on. All right. This is my new song. It's gonna be out in like a month, 2 months. Trying to feel the motivation, rebuilding the nation after the denomination, been dominating the matrix, got that old man wisdom. He kneel to the savior, tell the youth to keep their heads up and keep the snakes in the basement. There'll be people trying to bring you down, sing this loud, won't fall, make the king the clown. My ink is loud, this earth you could sink or drown. It don't matter if you pink or brown, they still coming for you taxes. It's just a theft upon the masses, robbery behind all the entertainment and acting they put on the show, so you never see what is happening. The politician lie to your face, I call that a catfish hat trick. All of my goals, I make it happen. A star, you could call me Patrick. Half-wits get back hit. Back of my hand like I was Italian. I actually am a quarter, that's why I'm built like stallion. No medallion for pop-up John. Might have to get a watch with the pop-up clock. Shield Gates trying to GM on my family tree. I barely can breathe. The government is hammering me. Trying to feel the motivation. Rebuilding the nation after the denomination. Been dominating the matrix. Got that old man wisdom. He kneel to the savior. Tell the youth to keep their heads up and keep the snakes in the basement. There'll be people trying to bring you down. Sing this loud, one fall, make the king the clown. My ink is loud, this earth you can sink or drown. It don't matter if you pink or brown, they still coming for you taxes. Theft upon the masses, robbery behind all the entertainment and acting they put on a show, so you never see what is happening. The politician lie to your face, I call that a catfish hat trick. All of my goals, I make it happen. A star, you could call me Patrick. Half-wits get back hit, still I tell them come in peace. Bruce Lee fight like water, calm but deep, too powerful. Michael Jackson owning the Beatles. You carousel, spinning, get controlled by the theater. Ooh, aerials, even if you hit the jackpot, no, the real biggest winner is who owns a casino. My freestyle's deeper than your written material. Switch to Imperial. When I hit through the stereo, flip like an aerial. Step to me, then this is your burial. Yeah, the nice speed of wake is scary, so I got no fear. Oh yeah, y'all don't want to step to me effortlessly. I cook on the beat and show you my recipe. Top chef in my plate, organic. Y'all can hate, but the great don't panic. I be too clutch, feel the motivation. After the denomination, been dominating the matrix. Got that old man wisdom. That's just a little. I got a third verse too, but it's light work. It's light work. So that's a new song. But listen. And I got notes. I got 7 different operations going on here. That appreciate it. Someone said I don't like my taxes being paid too. Yeah, I'm not a fan of them. Appreciate it. People are arguing on everybody on YouTube is like fire, and then there's people arguing on Facebook with each other. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. It's just a little. Got my book. That's why I can't finish my book. I'm not lazy. I feel lazy sometimes. People are like, where's your book? I'm writing songs. I'm making videos. I'm editing videos. Someone said I'm in my 50s and I'm standing with all the young ones. I have 2 teenage daughters and I want them to have a future of freedom and rights like most parents. I feel for the youth of today. I feel you. It's got to be tough to send a kid to school. In Los Angeles, they're trying to vaccinate 12 and up, and they're forcing masks and stuff. It's such a dark way to live. Hopefully everybody's doing okay with that. All right, I'm gonna take off. We're gonna end on that note. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for hanging out. We had up to 4,000 people on Facebook. I appreciate it. We still have like 4,000. So I don't like to leave when it's popping because we got a lot of people and I'm grateful, but I am gonna take off for now. And then I will have more videos. I'll try to figure out what I could do too, as far as like, this stuff's coming for everyone. And as far as legalities, exemptions, etc., I know I had a chat with Peggy Hall. She's fantastic. She knows a lot. At the end of the day, though, you can get your exemption. Obviously, there's legal routes, but it's really going to be a numbers game because it really depends who your judge is, where you are, how it works, etc. So if everybody equips themselves with knowledge, information, that's all I could think of. For myself, I know where I stand, and that's all I can do. I try not to tell other people what to do, but if certain things were to happen to me, the first thing that I would do is explain myself, and not in a fake way. And like, okay, you can get an exemption, of course, and like, have a religious exemption. That's fine. But explain to them exactly why you feel that way. Be like, listen, this is how I feel. Here's articles. Here's CDC data, all that stuff, Israel data. I would have everything that I talk about in my videos and just kind of present it and just have a real conversation. If they don't care, what about this? What about that? And if they don't, that would be my first take. And real quick before I leave, someone said today on my Instagram story, they were like, Anomaly, can you link all of the stories in your last video? I had all the pop-ups. I don't have to link it. Here's what you could do. Go to Google or DuckDuckGo. And if you see something in my video, you could just type it in there, like just type in, if it's Washington Post, type in Washington Post and type in the headline and you could find it yourself. So I don't need to link everything from my videos. Like someone wants me to get all the links. If you see it in my video, Google is your friend. Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay. It's very easy. Just type it in, find the headline, and the article should pop up right away. So you could do that. Thank you to everybody on Telegram, t.me/dreamrarechat or dreamrarechat. t.me/dreamrarechat is the way to type it in. I think we have 50,000 people on there now, which is great. My email list is stayintouchwithme.com. The hats are godblesshats.com. I see a lot of people buying them and stuff. Appreciate it. So that's it for today. Stay strong, stay blessed. And I wish I could do more. I seriously do. I feel bad sometimes. People are like, I'm only one person. I make videos. Like I'm not claiming to do it. I'm doing what I can as a citizen, as an analyst, and putting together informational videos, etc. But as far as, save or help the whole world, I can't do that. And neither can you. So try not to stress out. Do what you can do in your own personal life. Make decisions for yourself that make sense. And that's the best for you to live healthy and happy. But try not to let the whole negative stuff consume you. This is going to be a journey. I think people are trying to scare you and say, oh my God, it's going to get so much worse. And I don't like that. I don't think it's going to get worse. But in general, if it does get weirder, we have to be ready for it. And if we can't do anything about it, we can't just sit here and freak out about it. So it's like, as the steps go on, got to make the most of it. And we're all going to have to face something eventually, a tough decision or, a line in the sand. And I think I've taken mine a long time ago, but for everyone, it's going to come to that moment one way or another. And you got to be peaceful, respectful about it. But in general, you can't worry about it. That day's going to come for all of us. And that day's going to come where things are going to get tougher for even me. It's not like, oh, well, normally you do this. It's like, for now, I'm fine. But what if Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, they could ban me at any second, but also they could give me like a ultimatum, like Rutgers University, where even if you don't go there, there's still force. Like you can't digitally work there unless you get a vaccine. That's why we gotta, I don't want to freak out, but it's like, if they could do that at Rutgers, they could do that anywhere. That's why that's so crazy. So hopefully enough people start to get it and things fall in line, because it's going to affect everyone at a certain point. So don't worry about it, but just be ready and get too jacked for the gulag. All right. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you.